Hey Bayek, it's me Ian, and in today's video I'm continuing my look at the X-Files. This is Teliko from 1996. Previously we'd had Home, the unforgettable Home episode, and the next one will be Unruh. Now, this is season 4, and it's episode 3, and it's a Monster of the Week story, so we haven't got the mythology. It was transmitted on the 27th of October 1996 on Fox Network, and on the 9th of February 1997 on Sky, and the 1st of October 1997 on BBC One. It's written by Howard Gordon. Oh, yes. Now, amazing contribution to the X-Files, and of course, going on to be such a great producer as he was. He did 20 episodes. Wow, what a contribution in terms of writing. 20 episodes. And it's directed by Jim Charleston. He did 4 episodes of directing for the X-Files. Avatar, 1996. Synchrony, 1997. And Elegy, 1997. So with this, that's 4 episodes. And it's produced, of course, as usual. We've got the showrunner in Chris Carter. Yes, he's always there. The music is, as usual, by Mark Snow. It's clear, very clear, the music. He's using African drums, flutes, and chants, which really adds an interesting, wonderful score. It does. It's really good. Quite outstanding. So that is all part of the atmosphere of this story. The locations, as usual, Vancouver and East Vancouver. And it always looks good. I say this but it's true. You look at it, you think, wow. They're just amazing, the locations they have there. So we'll go through the cast. We've got David Duchovny playing Fox Mulder. And we've got Gillian Anderson playing Dana Scully. And we've got Mitch Pileggi playing Walter Skinner. And we've got Laurie Holden again playing Marita Coravana, yes. We've got Willie Amaki playing Samuel Aboa. He was in Congo, 1995, Go, 1999, and Amstrad, 1997. And then you look, and again, he's in a series, many TV series and TV films. Then we have got Carl Lumbly, who plays Marcus Duff. He was in Escape from Alcatraz, 1997. He was in Judgment in Berlin, 1998. He was in Pacific Heights, 1990. Wow, Pacific Heights. Such a great film. He was in The Alphabet Killer, 2008, which we've come across again before. And, now listen to this, he was in Doctor Sleep. Oh, yes. Brilliant film that is. 2019. Oh, Doctor Sleep, yes. And he was in Captain America Brave New World this year, 2025. So they're the major members of the cast. So you're saying, Bayek, what's the story about? Well, Mulder and Scully are called in to investigate these unexplained deaths of several African and African Americans whose skin colour is turned white as a result of a rare medical condition. Or is it a bizarre curse? Aha, yes, so that's where Mulder and Scully are involved, because it may not be so straightforward. And also, the removal of the pituitary glands, very important, adds this further twist to the mystery of it all. What I love actually about this, I like it when you get this. It starts in an aeroplane, and something happens in the aeroplane. In this case, somebody goes to the bathroom, and they have this, something strange happens to them, and they end up there, discovered, totally changed, and we get the sort of scary image of them looking at you, straight at you. Brilliant. It's interesting that this episode reminds me a lot of Squeeze and Tombs and that, because you get these images in your mind of these faces looking up at you. Somehow they manage to squeeze into these areas, and you're wondering, how on earth do they do that? And then I'm thinking, oh no, it's Tombs again. No, it made me think straight away about Squeeze and Tombs, which were absolutely wonderful episodes. Some of the most memorable X-File episodes. But it has that, when you look at them, there's these eyes and the face just staring at you. It's creepy, isn't it? It is creepy, but it's almost become like a signature sometimes in X-Files. The way people's faces stare at you, and then when they're in these places, where they should be, and you think, how on earth do you get in there? By well, there it is. I love it. I think a lot of the critics were quite positive, but some weren't. I don't think they think it's a bad episode, and they think it's, it does a good job, and there are scary moments in it. And I think they see it when they look deeper. They say, well, this is an episode about xenophobia and prejudice, and I can see that. But I tend to see it more. It's the strangeness of it all, that these conditions and that produce strange effects, and it is based on these sort of what we can see in the world, these conditions where people's appearances can be changed. You do see it, and this is obviously done in a more dramatic way, but it's got that behind it. So you're thinking, yeah, this is interesting. But when you've got all these sort of African connections, and you're almost thinking of the African Caribbean kind of black magic, voodoo, tribal spells, witch doctors, all that sort of stuff starts to come into your mind when you see all this, and that's always becomes quite a scary proposition. So I think it kind of, it's a certain note, because you think, yeah, I can see this. Obviously it's the X-Files, so they're adding those other elements. But it's these kind of things can occur. Medical oddities and strange things that do seem strange um, do occur. And then mixing it, as I say, with all the mythological kind of things that we see, then it's very effective. And I think that's a good quality of this episode, that it does that. It does make you think about these things. But, also having that, as I say, the very X-Files thing. And I think it's good. As usual, the relationship between Mulder and Scully is always good. You still get that. Maybe it sometimes some writers bring it out more than others, but the actors seem to have that ability to just, whatever they're given, to be able to, you can see that in that. And I think that's good that they show that, because not every writer is going to emphasize that, but the acting quality has become, they're so into their roles that they can do that. And I think that's really good. They look after each other in a way. They're always concerned about each other. It's another great thing that I do love about the X-Files, this relationship. I mean, anyway, that's what all the X-Files is about. It's about them too. And it works. Again, I think I think this episode really just adds a lot again to seeing them just doing what they do best. There is no conspiracy theory. I must admit, at first, I remember going back when I first saw this transmitted, I remember thinking at the time, oh, it could be some diabolical plan by some white supremacists trying to make black people white, some real evil kind of stuff. But it wasn't that. It was in this other direction, and I really like it. We had to get into kind of how illnesses can transform people. Not mind you, it's not just always in their physical appearance, is it? As well, there's there can be a mental changes as well. And I think that is interesting because the removal of the pituitary gland, which is an interesting area to talking about the pituitary gland, as many people believe certain properties and that. So removal of that is like sort of taking away something which is perhaps there and goes right back in the development of humans. Many people see it as a very important thing. People have even linked it with that in the mythology in terms of the third eye even. I've seen that the pituitary gland has such an influence on the body. Again, it's not proved scientifically at all, but it adds to that mythology side to the episode that it could be. So I think that's another interesting area. Maybe it's not been explored always, but it can run through the series, especially when you've got somebody like Scully, who is a medical doctor, and it's good when she's confronted by these anomalies. Yes, the medical anomalies, and of course it's always fueled by Mulder, of course, and of course she's used to it. But of course she does now take his opinions seriously. She doesn't think he's totally off the wall daft. Such is their caring relationship between each other that, you know, even when she might think he's gone over the top, she still will support him in some ways, in a different way, trying to push him more into a rational area, but still wanting him to be as he is. I think that's another part of the relationship we see. But I enjoyed this. Again, like all these X-Files stories, you get very few weak ones. You do get a few weaker ones, but this one, again, I think is a good one. Yes. So, as usual, before I go, I'll just show you this. There it is. It's the whole of the 4th season. And it goes into the big box. Yes, I always say that. Yep, there's a full of all the seasons in this big box. And there it goes in there. Anyhow, that's it. So, hope you've enjoyed that. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you subscribe, you can look in the playlists and you can see all the previous X-Files episodes that I've reviewed. You can also see all the other things that I've done on the playlist. I do a lot of film reviews, TV shows, all that kind of thing. You might find something that you might enjoy. And also, please, just give this a like. Yes, give it a like. If you like it, it's good for the channel. It gets it out onto YouTube, and then other people might enjoy it. It's good for the channel. And if you have any comments as well, I love to read your comments. So please put your comments down, and I'll always reply to them. And that's it. Yes, I've gone on far too long, as I always say. So all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.